grand, make us a demo. Okay, we like the demo, here's 50 grand, go and make us an album. No, we haven't got that sort of money.
But then after that you also need another 50 grand to pay for advertising for the album to promote it so that people know where it is, and that's where the costs are. So.
Okay, but then look at Fugazi, they do it.
Yeah, they do it on a much more, how can I put it?
Simple base.
Yeah, very simple. Not so simple.
It's taken them a long time.
Yeah,
It's taken them a long time to get outside the States. And they've got something like back catalogue of what, 10 albums, something like that.
Fugazi's got 4 albums.
No, they've got more than that. I can name you more than 4 now.
Okay, name them.
In on the Kill Taker,
Yeah.
Repeater, 13 songs, the new one that they've just done, which I can't remember the name of.
And that's it.
No, there's more than that. There's
Show it to him, man. You mean Minor Threat?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Minor
that's
Threat maybe.
Yeah, but that's not a band.
Yeah, well that was them before.
It's kind of irrelevant anyway, but I mean the fact of the matter is that we've thought about it. Our manager Phil has got a label called Hag, which we actually released our first stuff on. And it's a nice thought, but we're very busy. We're making our own records, we're touring them, we're doing press interviews in different countries. We can't run a record company at the moment. It's kind of beyond us. I mean, much as you'd like to, idealistically it'd be nice to help other people along the road, but it's something that maybe the future holds for us, I mean, like the building is all well and good, but it's still only a year old. People ask us whether we're going to let other bands play there and stuff like that. Not at the moment. To us at the moment it's still our kind of little temple, if you like, and it's still very personal to us. Plus the fact that to have somebody, you'd need like 2 or 3 people there all the time to help run the studio. If you talk to any studio owner, it's a bloody nightmare anyway.
It's break all the time, and the one thing we want to do, we come back from tour and it's like, let's get this idea down, right?
Yeah.
Oh, the tape don't work, why not? Oh, because the band last week, they broke it. Be like, we don't need that. We don't need that.
We've sweated and shown our blood for this, and we've got it. And at the moment, we're just going to sit on it for a while. Maybe in the future, we've already done some work in there with a friend's band called the Rev Hammer. I don't know if you know, we did an album with them a couple of years ago called Industrial Sound and Magic on Cooking Vinyl. And
While being in a lawsuit.
Huh?
While being in a lawsuit.
That was a different thing. Rev's an old friend that I used to play with when I was on my own. And recently we've done another song.
That's the 4th one, yeah. So there are 5. Levelers 1-0. Okay.
But and so we're starting to do it, and if it's a mate's band and you trust them and we've got the time to be around, maybe we'll do it. But at the moment it's hard, we've got a lot of things going on. We're breaking into things like the internet and stuff like that. We've got our own pages on that. We've got 5 bases around the world at the moment, and it's.
You guys spreading music through internet as well?
There is someone in America. There is someone in America that's actually done it. But
there's also the advancement in computers is such that you need. It's next year or later this year they're going to bring in stuff where you're going to be able to have interactive video clips and the whole thing moving in front of you, which will be great, and hopefully CD sound, stuff like that. But at the moment it's quite a good tool for everybody,
Do you guys like want to buy a really expensive computer and record your albums on a computer?
No.
That's the point.
No.
That's the point. 2-inch tape's brilliant. It works.
What do you mean? What do you mean with the computer? Because we use computers in making the music anyway.
Yeah, that's why I asked. Because I spoke to these guys from Filter. These 2 guys.
Yeah.
They bought from their record company. They got this money to record an album. They said, "Well, you give you so and so much money.
Yeah.
You'll make this album." They were like, "Right, we're gonna buy a Macintosh." They bought the computer. In their living room, they recorded this album, and it sounds great.
Yeah.
What do they use though? Do they use drums, bass, and
computer-like stuff?
Yeah, but we don't make computer. We use a Macintosh for things like replacing guitar parts that maybe weren't quite right, or drum parts that weren't quite right. So it's a useful tool.
Tracks.
Yeah, for tracks that we've already recorded. So
it's more a tool, and generally it's in the performance, particularly on this album. It was a performance album, and also we hunted for instruments more than we've ever done before because we've got a little bit more money, and we can't deny we've got a bit more weight. If you ring up Gibson and ask them for a free guitar, 3 years ago they'd have told us where to go. Today it's like, well, maybe, you know, we can come to a deal. So, you know, we hunted around. We've got different instruments. Each track's got different instruments, guitars and stuff like that, which is really nice. We experimented with mic sounds and placements. Put Charlie up the top of the stairs and mics at the bottom, just to see what happened, you know.
Wow.
And that was having our own place made it cheaper. I mean, you're not watching the clock go, there's another £1 gone, another £1 gone, you know. It's
£7 a minute, was it?
£7 a minute, the last studio that we worked in.
Right, take 15, Charlie. Get it right. Cost us, fucking fair view bob, mate.
Get it right or your wages go down, you know.
Yeah.
And it's you know, so computers, and we're very much, I mean, I think the sound is a bit more retro in respect of actual music recording techniques.
So why is it called Zeitgeist then, your album?
Because it's
nothing to do with being modern. That's not Zeitgeist doesn't necessarily mean modern.
No?
Zeitgeist means what you're doing, how your perception of the world at that moment is, sort of thing.
Okay.
And my perception of it is that if you listen to, say, Roachford, and you listen to Led Zeppelin, the guitar sound, the acoustic guitar sound on Led Zeppelin is still far better. It's far more atmospheric, and it's far more. There's something there, you know. And I think I know what it is. It's because it's a human element and not a computer. I've seen hard disk recorders. You know, a friend of mine who owns a guitar shop was trying to sell me one. He was saying you could write songs on it. You could go down the studio and take in the band. You could say, right, here's your drum track, Charlie, and here's your bass track, Jeremy. But then it wouldn't be Levelers, it would be me. You know, and it's much more fun, interesting, and hard work, which makes it more fun and challenging to actually get there and say, right, well, what we're going to put to tape is what we're going to use in the mix. We're not going to affect it. We're going to put to tape what we want. And that's usually simple. You get really good sounds out of simple.
It works with loads of artists to have, you know, purely electronical, you know, to record everything on a computer. But as I said, you know, it is a case of, you know, the 2-inch tape does work. And with computers and technology, it seems to sort of kind of feed off itself. You still got to feed the machine with a source of sound, like drum sounds, a classic example. And they start using old sounds, which is like, say, John Bonham, or you know, a drum machine like the 808 or something like that. But it was like, well, where's a new bass drum sound that I haven't heard for a while? Things like that, you know.
Another way of looking at
on
it as well is like, I've talked to a couple of engineers and producers about it, and they were saying, well, yeah, you know, people do this stuff. So you do it and you spend maybe 2 days creating the track, and then another 2 days mixing, and you're taking 2 days because what you're trying to do is make the computer sound more like a human being. Yeah, there's little tricks where you can make something longer, or you put it a little bit later just to make it sound right.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you just get a drummer in? You know, God, they need the work. You know?
I mean, you guys got the time now to experiment on sounds. I think a lot of people just ain't got the time to really look for sounds like, for instance, the Beatles did. Like they had loads of times to create sounds which I never heard before.
Look for more. It's more important than money, record sales, your yacht in the Mediterranean, whatever. The most important thing when you're a musician and if you're entering into the industry is you need time. You have to buy your time. Not buy it, but you have to make the space, and that is the thing you buy, really, at the end of the day.
Okay, that's true, but on the other hand, still, I think out of the top 10 best songs I ever heard, especially that's my taste, and I think 6 or 7 songs, maybe even 8 songs are like recorded in 20 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, the Animals did that album with House of the Rising Sun. House of the Rising Sun was done in 22 minutes, I think, or something like that. Or
the first Beatle recording did in one day.
Yeah.
The total record.
Yeah, you know,
mixing and everything.
That's because they relied.
There's no computers. There's no. You know, it's get in there and do it.
That's because they relied on sort of like the performance. Yeah. You know, I think we've been growing up in an age of sort of like, you know, relying on doing tricks like
everything
overlay.
From cars to bloody guitars. You know, like building a car now is not some guy. You know, people. Why do you think people paid so much money for that old Harley Davidson or that old BSA? It's because it's been handcrafted and they love it. It's a pig, it breaks down, and you might have to even make the bloody parts yourself again, because no company will be willing to do it. You know, it's like there's a human touch to that, and that's what this world is beginning to lack. And it's showing itself in all sorts of ways, and some of them are nice, some of them are horrible. So, you know, it's musically we prefer to stay simple and kind of honest.